Hi guys, it's Nicole, and today I am sharing my second project with the April 2021 Flavors of the Month kit from the Scraproom. I am going to be working with the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Cottage Fields kit, as well as the embellishment add-on that goes with it, and I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later in the video. This kit came with 2 sheets of a cream colored cardstock, and then the 3 pattern papers that you get are Beautiful Moments, Sweet Life, and Natural Beauty. And as always, I keep this part of my video in real time to show you guys kind of my thought process of when I'm first opening the kit and I'm trying to kind of get a game plan. I have mentioned over the years that Simple Stories is one of my favorite manufacturers. However, their new vintage collections usually give me a little bit of pause and kind of make me have to stop and think, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I kind of started this year looking specifically for some creative challenges, and this kit club kind of fell into my lap regarding that. So I am thoroughly enjoying being challenged with these kits and kind of seeing how I can make them work for me, which I hope would then inspire you to look at collections in a different way as well. The kit also comes with 1/4 of a pack of the bits and pieces that match the collection and 1/6 of the foam stickers, which I've said this over the last couple of months. I am loving Simple Stories foam stickers. I feel like it's a better option than chipboard. Like if you don't like chipboard, I would look at the foam stickers. Now, this is what I pulled out from the embellishment kit, and it's their new Simple Stories page pieces. And you can see here on the back of the packaging, they're kind of designed to be more of like a beginner type project or product. You're kind of supposed to be able to make a pretty basic layout with this. However, I like the fact that most retailers have these for $2.99, I believe. You get, like, I don't know how to word this. You get a manageable amount of die cuts. You don't get 60 to this pack. And for me, I like that. I like that I've got that large phrase, I've got a large border piece, I've got some medium-sized things, but I also have some tiny pieces like the heart and the phrase. I've got some things that have words on them, like the banners and the label piece. And I have, in this instance, there's 4 butterflies and 1 floral. To me, this helps decision making and kind of balancing the amount of embellishments. In this case, I am going to kind of mix all 3 of these types of embellishments together, mostly because when I was going through everything, I noticed that the beautiful phrase, the sweet phrase from the foam stickers, and the hello phrase from the bits and pieces, which again, these are going to vary kit by kit because I'm getting 1/4 of a pack of these bits and pieces. There's 3 other kits out there that are getting the other parts of the die cut pieces that I got. Like 4 of us are sharing a pack of die cuts, which again, in my mind, makes it more manageable to use. So my particular one might be different than yours if you sub to this kit or if you decide to go purchase it individually. It may vary. I'm kind of curious to go back and see what the full die cut pack looks like, because now I'm kind of curious if the other phrases that come are the same blue color. But in my instance, mine were all blue. So I kind of couldn't get that thought out of my head. So I knew I wanted to build a title using all those elements. Now, with this being their vintage line, like I said, that tends to slow down my thought process a little bit, mostly just because I love Simple Stories for their bright and vibrant and more playful looking collections. This vintage type thing is something new that they've been doing over the last couple of years, and I've bought bits and pieces of some of the other lines, so it's always interesting to see what they're going to introduce in that realm of their collections, I guess. From there, I printed out some photos in 4x6 and 3x4. To me, that was just kind of easier. I knew that if I printed them like that, I could basically do what I'm doing here, sit down, move them around, and just kind of come up with some sort of layout. I actually chose to start with the embellishments, which I almost never do, but because that beautiful phrase is so large, I wanted to make sure that I was going to have room for it. So I kind of played around. I had two different options. I took pictures of them with my phone and kind of molded over and figured out which way I wanted to go. From there, I way overthought the paper. This pattern right here, which I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's the one that has like the printed floral imagery on it. I could not figure out what to do with that. So I threw caution to the wind and fussy cut out those big florals and chose to use them as kind of like a frame on the edges of my layout. And then from there, I cut the other patterns into strips like this. This like messy book paper, newspaper kind of looking one, and the blue are actually the same piece of paper. So in order to be able to use both sides of it, I cut the book paper into two 5-inch sections, which takes up 10 inches of a 12 by 12, and then the blue strips are 1 inch apart. So I used the whole 12 inches. And then I used this black one just kind of sparingly. It felt a little heavy trying to use it in a bigger portion. So for me, I go with what works for my brain. Your brain might work completely different. You do you. I've mentioned over the years, I do me, and that's how I like it. So for me, strips of pattern paper is what I like to be able to see lots of patterns, because for me, pattern paper is my favorite supply. So moving all that off, you can see a little bit better the paper strips that I've got going on. And I'm just going to kind of start them about 1 inch from the bottom of my layout. And this is basically just giving my photos somewhere to live and not feel like they're just kind of floating in between those two fussy cut floral pieces. And I don't tend to do like the style with like the messy layers and stuff. It's just never worked for me. I don't know how people can make that look as good as they do. Trust me, I watch a lot of other scrappy creators here on YouTube, and man, they make it look easy. But again, it's whatever your style is, just own it and kind of go with it. Even if you find yourself repeating kind of the same types of things over and over again, the fact that your photos are different, the fact that the supplies are different is going to make the layouts themselves look a little bit different. And the things that make them kind of look the same are basically what defines your personal style, if that makes sense. So I had mentioned earlier about combining all these title pieces. Basically, I'm going to have my title say, "Hello, sweet, beautiful senior." And later you'll see I'm going to use some letter stickers from my stash to spell out senior. So that is one of those things where when you're taking a kit like this that's been kind of curated, somebody has picked the supplies for you, and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I make this fit my theme, or how do I make this fit my photos? Things like building on your title to make it more specific to your photos, or maybe adding different tools. Like I could have done a border punch on some of these. I honestly just didn't think about it at the time. I think it would have looked really pretty, especially if I had picked something that leaned into this very feminine feel. So just kind of look for things like that when you're trying to make a kit be a little bit more personal to your style, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And again, I used almost all of the things from the page pieces, which was from the embellishment add-on, and probably half of the die cuts from the main kit. And then everything but the yellow today phrase from the foam stickers, which was from the main kit. And I just kind of put things where I think they look good. I don't necessarily follow design principles of needing to have 3 clusters or having clusters be certain sizes. I tend to just go with what feels right to me on that specific layout. And sometimes that's a large cluster, a medium cluster, and a small cluster. Sometimes that's kind of mixing things in here and there, like I am today. So again, you do you. I just try to explain why I'm doing me, because I know some of you guys have asked about that, and I don't really know like how to explain what goes on in my brain other than to just attempt to. So I've got my title down. I'm pretty much getting to the end. This layout is not going to have journaling. That's kind of unusual for me. These are senior photos that I took of my niece. This happens to be like the set of photos where she was wearing this outfit and we were kind of over in a different area. I have probably 3 other like groupings of photos that we took this day. And somewhere on when I get to those layouts is probably where I'm going to do like a larger chunk of journaling, talking about her graduating and her getting a scholarship at UNLV and kind of stepping into adulthood and moving on. This is more of what I would call like a fluff layout. Its intention is to just show off her beautiful photos and have things kind of just support what's going on in the photos. Originally, I didn't think I was going to use that one random floral that was in the page pieces, but I ended up going ahead and kind of having it look as if the right hand fussy cut floral piece actually was as big as the left one. And I think it just kind of helped finish off this little corner down here. And then I'm adding another one of the die cut pieces that just says memories. And again, I didn't date this layout either because it's going to be with her other photos where I'm going to have more information. And this is just going to kind of be a companion page to those. The last thing I did was go through and I used up the foam hearts, which are my favorite thing from Simple Stories, is their foam heart stickers, and just kind of sprinkled them around the page. So this is my completed layout and then some detail photos. I am going to encourage you guys, if you have not already joined the Facebook group, to go ahead and join the Facebook group. I'll post a link below where you can find it so that you can see what the other design team members are doing with these kits, what subscribers are doing with these kits. There's monthly challenges, all kinds of fun stuff going on over there. So I'll leave all that information below, and until next time, I will just go ahead and leave you guys here and say bye and thank you for watching.